But it was interesting. The very first person that came to me that day wasn't someone from New Orleans. It was a reporter for the BBC. And this gentleman came to me, introduced himself. He had a tape recorder. He had around his neck, and there were a few camera crews that were wading through this water. I mean, it was almost just like we were being surrounded by the media getting off the buses. I mean, I remember there was also a reporter from Le Monde there. I mean, it was just, we had, seemed like, half the European press was there when we were getting off these buses near the Superdome. The very first thing this BBC reporter said to me was, he said, "Excuse me, sir, can you tell me about the shoot-to-kill order?" And I was quite stunned, and I said, "Sir, I don't know what you're talking about." And he said, "Well, Governor Blanco has issued a shoot-to-kill order here in Louisiana." And I told him that, my role, who I was, and that I had been the person that had personally briefed everybody that was getting off these buses now, and we, in no uncertain terms, had not issued shoot-to-kill orders. We were not going to kill people and shoot people for basic looting, and I went over, I told him what, because none of this was secret, this was all, we wanted it to be known, we wanted it to be public about what we were really doing. And he accepted that quite well. Now, what I did not know at that time, because again, we'd been in pretty much a media blackout since we'd gotten on the plane in Little Rock, was that Governor Blanco had held a press conference where she made mention that the Arkansas National Guard was coming to Louisiana. She made mention of the fact that we had just returned from Iraq, and I think she made mention of the phrase that these guys just got back from Iraq and they know what to do. And that quote unquote, "and they know what to do," a lot of people interpreted that in their own way, and I think that's where some of these allegations about shoot-to-kill orders came from. But again, those were never issued. They just were not true.